So open your book to lesson 10 of book 4. I will read it by parts. I would like you to repeat after me and let's talk a little bit, right? So the title of the first situation is Switching Sides. Repeat, switching sides. Switching sides. Well, remember that when you turn on and off your light at home, you have a switch. All right? Why a switch? Because you change from off to on and vice versa. All right? Switching sides. For example, I am Atlético supporter, right? And then I switch sides and become a Coxa supporter. So switching sides. In our situation, you will remember, if you have read, and I'm sure you have read, if you haven't, stop the video and read this situation before you continue. In our situation, remember, the girl switched, so repeat, switched sides because she was a Bread Row supporter and suddenly she was not supporting Bread Row anymore. She was very happy with Tammy Goodsell's victory, right? All right, so repeat after me. Just a second. Repeat after me. Where is it? Okay, so repeat after me. Hey, Laura, the election results are out. Repeat, Laura. Please don't say Laura, all right? Laura. The election results are out. Keep in mind, when results are out, they are revealed. Let's put it this way. Better than reveal, because reveal have the sense of revelation. Wow, right? The election results are public now. The election results are displayed somewhere, are showed, somewhere. So the election results are out. And then Laura says, really? Who won? So repeat, really? Who won? Wendy says, why? Tammy, of course. Be careful because this why here is not the traditional why like why? Why do you study English, right? This why here is why as all right, it's an expression, right? Like why? Tammy, of course, right? You imagine you ask me, what do you like to do on your free time? And then I point at my books and say, why? I like to read, of course. And then Laura says, that's great news. That's great news. Something you should be careful about news. News in English is always plural. So you don't have a new. You say some news. Great news. And then we have, that's great news. Let me find where's the next part here. It was a landslide victory. Let me just find. It was a landslide victory. Sorry, because in my book it's really hard to find where the situation is. Keep in mind, landslide is when, for example, a part of a mountain, it happens very frequently when you're going to the, not very frequently, but it can happen. For example, you're going to the beach and then you have to go through the mountains to go to the beach, right? You have to go down the mountains, right? And then you have a street in a mountain that comes here. When it rains a lot, a part of the mountain comes out, all right? And let's say, slide. That's why we call land slide. By the way, slide, if you go to the playground, that kind of toy that kids sit and go down, we call a slide, all right? But of course, when we use landslide figuratively, as it is the case with this situation, then landslide means it's a victory where the other part has no chance. So let's imagine we are in a competition. I got 25 points and you got 2 points. So it was a landslide victory, right? So let's see what was the landslide victory. Probably, as you can see on the picture on your book, Tammy got 92% of the vote. So of course it's a landslide victory, right? Brad only got a handful of votes. So repeat, Brad only got a handful of votes. Well, a handful, literally speaking, is a handful, right? But instead of saying handful, we say handful, handful. So I have a handful of friends. So I have like 10, 7, 6 friends. Handful of friends. I can get a handful of sand and carry through the beach, although I don't know the reason why I would do such a thing. Well, he only got a handful of votes, so a few votes in this case. And then Laura says, hold on. So repeat, hold on. Hold on is, wait a moment. I thought you were a big Brad Rowe supporter. Repeat, I thought you were a big Brad Rowe supporter. And then she answers, I was. What made you change your mind? Repeat, what made you change your mind? Well, when you change your mind, you change your opinion, right? You change your mind, you change your opinion. Brad's attitude, repeat, Brad's attitude, right? So you can say attitude or attitude. I didn't realize he was so big-headed. So I didn't realize, I didn't perceive, I didn't understand at first. I didn't realize he was so big-headed, right? So remember, big-headed is an informal way of saying conceited. He thinks he's the best. He thinks he's better than everybody else. So repeat this sentence. I didn't realize he was so big-headed. He's more attractive on his posters than in person, right? So repeat, he's more attractive on his posters than in person, right? Attractive, repeat. Well, attractive is beautiful, but remember, for boys and men, it's better to use attractive than beautiful. It's better to use beautiful for women. So repeat, yeah, and you know what? Remember, you use the expression and you know what when you're gonna say something that maybe it's impressive. Maybe it's a piece of news, right? So repeat. He doesn't look that good on his posters anymore either. Repeat. He doesn't look that good on his posters anymore either. So that good as you would think. All right. So, for example, I tell you this book is expensive. It's very, very expensive. And then you say, oh, how much is this book? And I say, well, 120 reals. And they say, wow, it's expensive, but it's not that expensive. So remember, Brad doesn't look that good on his posters anymore either, because as you can see on the picture, on the book, she has drawn mustaches on Brad Rowe on the poster. So Brad Rowe doesn't look that good anymore.